right, this is going to be the first video for Notes 20, the top section on factoring trinomials. I'm going to do question 1 and question 2 because I know how those factor. Question 3 and question 4 are going to be new. If you read the little description up at the top here, it says factoring trinomials when the leading coefficient, so it's going to be your first number, the leading coefficient is not 1, okay, and it doesn't factor out. So problem number 3 and problem number 4 are going to fit that pattern. I'm actually going to do this video using guess and check to factor 3 and 4. I will make a separate video showing the AC method or advanced factoring for 3 and 4. You pick your method. I don't really care, okay? So problem number 1, and the reason I said I was going to split the video for 3 and 4 is because problem number 1 is an old factoring problem. We don't have a GCF, right? There's nothing that all 3 of these terms have in common, so that's out of the picture. Clearly, this is just k squared, so when I go to write my 2 factors, I can right now just split the k squared as k and k. That's what we've been doing for a while now. In terms of the rest of the problem, I'm looking for things that multiply to negative 36. And in this case, I want those same 2 things to add up to negative 5. So I'm going to have 1 negative number, 1 positive number, and I'm kind of feeling like I'm liking a 9 and a 4 here. Let me double check. So k times k, k squared, negative 9 times positive 4 is absolutely negative 36. Negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. I have got the right factors here for number 1. Now, this is a type of trinomial factoring we've been doing for a little while now. I find it, of course, to be the easiest one because it is simply just what adds and what multiplies. All right, let's move on over to number 2. Now, this might look like, oh, wait a minute, we have a number in front here, right? Unlike the first problem, but the difference is, and this is, again, something I've been asking guys to do for a while, I want you to factor that GCF of 2 out, right? All 3 of these terms can be divided by 2, so that's exactly what we're going to start with. We're going to factor that 2 out. We've got p squared left over minus 6p minus, what would that be, 16. Took me a second there. And then I want to see if I can factor more. But that part, right, this p squared, okay, cool. When I go to write my factors, I can split this easily. So let's see. I would be looking for things that multiply to negative 16 and add up to negative 6. Keep the 2, please and thank you. All right, 2 factors, p and p. Let's see what we got here. 8, 2, make the 8 negative, keep the 2 positive, just as a quick double check. P times p is p squared. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. All right, I've got the right factors here. So that is done. Okay, this is the factoring we've been doing for a while. We've got a GCF, did the trinomial factoring. Life is fabulous. Okay, now this is where part number 3, first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have a GCF? And the answer is unfortunately, no, you do not. All right, you've got 5, 17, and 6, and I don't care what you try to do those, you're not going to factor anything else out other than maybe a 1, but that's not going to help. So this is where I'm going to do what's called, what I refer to and what most people refer to as guess and check. And I'm literally going to guess and check a lot. First things first, I want to think about numbers that multiply to 5. So I'm going to make a little list over here. That list is very short. It is 1 times 5. So when I go to write my 2 factors, right, factor and factor here, I need to take 5x squared and split it. Well, I only can split it as 1x and 5x. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, normally I don't write the 1 here. It's fine that it's there. All right, so now I know 1x times 5x, that creates my first term. Okay, so far so good. Secondarily, I need to do things that multiply to 6. So, whoops, write with a pen, 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Now, this is where the guess of guess and check comes in. I am going to guess at which pair of these and which position they go into and then I will check my work. So if I start with 1 times 6, so let's say I put a 1 here and a 6 here. The nice part about working with the iPad is I can quickly erase things, including all my checks. So what would the check look like here? Oh, and everything, by the way, is positive, so I'll go ahead and put plus signs here and here. All right, that won't change. So the check would be 1 times 5x. Well, that's 5x. And then 1x times 6, which is 6x. Both of those are positive. If I take 5x plus 6x, do I create positive 17x? And the answer is no. No, I do not. So that check, that's not it. Let's see if I reverse those numbers. If I put a 6 here and a 1 here, right? I'm just guessing and quickly checking. So 30x, 1x, I don't care what you do with a 30 and a 1, you're not making me a 17. All right, so that means that 1 and 6 are not it. I have guessed and checked both possibilities for position. So instead, let's take a look at 2 and 3. Let's say I put 3 here and 2 here. Again, I'm guessing, I'm going to check, of course. So inside here, 3 times 5x makes 15x. And then if I take 1x times 2, that is 2x. That's 17x. So what that means for me is that I have now checked my answer, and I now know that those are the correct factors. So double checking the whole thing here. 1x times 5x, 5x squared. 3 times 2 makes 6. 3 times 5x is the 15x here. 1x times 2 is the 2x here. These two terms add up to be that middle term. I have 100% checked it. I know that this is correct. Now, this seems like it can take some time, but with practice, guess and check becomes faster because a lot of this checking that I did on the paper or on my iPad, I would normally just do in my head. Okay, so that kind of cuts down on the amount of time I deal with things. So problem number 4 here, first thing I want to look for is, of course, a GCF, because if I can take out a GCF, I want to take out a GCF. And unfortunately, 7 divided by 2 is not going to work out for me. All right, so can't do that. I am going to go into guess and check here. What multiplies to 2? Well, 2 and 1. So 2x and x. Remember I said you didn't have to write the 1. I'm not going to here. 2x times x is 2x squared. Now I want to think about what multiplies to 30. All right, and there's a few different things here that multiply to 30. So I'm just going to list them out. 1 times 30, 2 times 15, let's see, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. I believe that covers everything. Now, some of these things I can kind of eliminate before I even check them. 1 and 30, I don't care where I put those two numbers, whether I put the 30 here and the 1 here, it's not going to make me a 7. That's what I talk about checking in my head. The likelihood of 2 and 15, I'm really not liking that too much. Let's see, what do I like? I kind of like 6 here and 5 here. All right, now I know I'm going to have to work with my signs because I need a negative 30, which means one of those two is going to have to be negative. So let's do the check and see what happens when I multiply these. So inside's going to get me a 5x. Outside's going to get me a 12x. And I am pretty sure if the 12x was negative and the 5x was positive, that would get me a negative 7x. All right, well, let's make those signs happen. To get a positive 5x, I'm going to make the 5 positive. To make the negative 12x, I'm going to make the 6 negative. Overall, checking the whole thing. 2x times x, 2x squared. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. We've got a positive 5x. We've got a negative 12x. And those two combine to get me a negative 7x. So that is guess and check. Okay, that is honestly, it got me through basically decades of math, to be honest with you. But that might not be your cup of tea. So if this is not working for you, you don't like it, it doesn't make sense to you, I'm going to do a second video for question 3 and question 4 only. 1 and 2 are good to go, okay? But question 3 and question 4 only, where I will show you how to use the AC method or advanced factoring method. But if you have any questions on guess and check, go ahead and let me know. Other than that, I will see you in the next video.